I'll most likely do a video later, but I want to get one video out of the way real quick. Um this is going out of my comfort zone. What if Cooler adopted Kakarot? Alright, so to be fair, I have no clue how I'm gonna do this. This might not if it doesn't even get that many views, I won't continue it. But I was on Moscow's channel, and one person was like, "Hey, Moscow, could you do such and such?" And I slid through with my Grammy flow, and I was like, "You want me to do it? I'll do it for you, brother." And he was like, "I was like, would you watch it if I did it?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, that's all I need to get in." So here we go. So how we gonna start this off is, we don't got too much information on Cooler, but I'm gonna say I have a general idea for his character, and most of it's gonna be based off of what I got from him training with me training with him in Xenoverse 2. Okay? So we're gonna start this off to where one of his soldiers or whatever are just kind of like, Lord Lord Cooler. I can't do that French voice, but he's like, Lord Cooler, there's a scene to be a pod or whatever, blah blah blah. All right, and Cooler's gonna be like, head course for that pod. And I'm also gonna have a couple other events change, depending if this does good, because if it doesn't, there's no point of even wasting my time. But if it does go good, I'm gonna have some other events change because I still want Earth to be a playing factor. So I got something for that. Anywho, that's gonna go far, far away. All right, so we're gonna have it where he gets, Kakarato, and Mans is raised up. So I'm gonna say he's off rip. He's like going stupid, go crazy. So I'm gonna say that I'm not gonna say Goku's a good-hearted person. I'm just gonna say that Cooler whipped him into shape, okay? And I'm gonna say that Cooler's also not nearly as manipulative as his little brother, and he's more, I'm willing to get my hands dirty, so he's gonna be more hands-on with them, right? Because he's gonna see his potential. And instead of being like Frieza and getting scared, he's gonna have more of a backbone. Now, don't get me wrong, in the movie, he was a little scary once Goku transformed and stuff, but then again, he was about to die, and most people never reach that level of power. But he is known to train, and he is known for putting in the work because he trained and got a new form. So, yeah. Now, what we're going to have, this is Goku's work. I'm not going to do ages because I don't know those time periods, but we're going to say that 15-ish years passed by, or somewhere around the point where the King Piccolo arc. I'm gonna say somewhere around there, right? That we're all done and set, right? So Goku wouldn't be known as Goku; he'll be known as Kakarot. But I'm not gonna keep switching in, and no, we're just gonna call him Goku, okay? Goku's actually, done some sufficient training. He's actually pretty strong. If I had to put somewhere where his power would be, I'd say I want to say he's at least he's somewhere around Raditz. No, I'm gonna say somewhere around base Vegeta and the Saiyan Saga. I'm gonna say one because he's training with Cooler all the time and other people. His power level will probably be higher. His power level will probably be higher, but that's his own story. And so he's going out and he's going to different planets, but he is told that he's a Saiyan and he gets stronger. So I'm gonna say he's like a hybrid. He's not Kakarot or Goku. He's somewhere in the middle. Plus, you also got to take into account for Cooler's influence, and his influence is gonna be more on the he doesn't like, Frieza off rip and stuff, right? So he's like, no. And he doesn't have a reason to want to betray Cooler. Because Cooler's kind of more like on the sense of, you work hard, you play hard. Do your stuff. I don't care what you do with your free time. So he take cares of business, and he eventually becomes, one of the higher elites as like years pass and stuff. And, he's like just chilling. Like he's good, right? And he's going to different little planets, making sure everything's good. He's like real deep into the Cooler Force. Eventually just becomes Cooler's right hand, and they're like sparring all the time. And then one day when they're sparring, he's like, let me show you something. And I'm going to say that Goku has stumbled upon, intertransmitted, Nagrok. I can't say it. I hear it in my head, but I can't say it. The place where they do intertransmission and all that stuff. So I'm gonna say he was there for a little bit. And you know how I said he's not good, but he's not evil. So I'm gonna say they felt like, because he kills his opponents if it's need be. Like he has a backbone, unlike our other Goku, where he's really to get what he needs to be done. But if he doesn't have to, he doesn't have to. And Cooler isn't as, you will kill them, and you will do this, monkey. Plus he's earned the respect of Cooler. You feel what I'm saying? Because he shows great potential and he shows good promise. So that's saying, I'm gonna say that he went on that planet and he did some things. And he was, he learned a couple of bits and things. And he also learned how to sense energy, which he doesn't, show Cooler this, but he just stops wearing a scouter. And his master's kind of wondering about that. And he's just like, I learned how to, detect energy, blah, blah, blah. Nothing major. So during this time of training, they're throwing good hands, right? Goku powers up to, wherever he can be, because he learned how to, control this ki a lot better, and, ki control. And so he just powers up because he's like, I've been doing some training myself. Let me see if I'm better than you now. He said, don't get ahead of yourself. I'm not going to say he's not as racist as his brother, but he's still kinda. But since Goku gained his respect, he said, I won't fight you as a lower class. I'll fight you as an equal. So they beat, throwing quality hands. Throwing good hands. You hear me? They're throwing some hands. Like, it's easy. Light work, God tier flow, okay? And so they just tell Swag weave. They're going at it. All right, Goku's got the upper hand. Your boy's putting in work. He's doing these things dirty, grimy, disgusting, with the sauce, with the flow, right? And then Cooler like flares his power up a little bit. He gets like a little scar right here. You hear me? He like, but he ain't no bitch, all right? Our boy has been on planets countless of times. He's gotten folded countless of times. So he's coming in. He's hitting with some special ki blasts. He's in with, he's throwing in there. The Cooler's like, he blocks it. Let me show you the power I plan to use to take down my brother. Goku, huh? Wait. I thought this was your final form. You said, oh, but it is. But there's a level above this. The ground starts to shake where they're training it. The air starts to vibrate. Everything is shaking. And Goku can sense this energy. He's like, well, Mama didn't raise no bitch. He like extends. Hold up, let me get this. Stay still. So he hit that hoe, right? He was on this, like he was like, and his hands are in the comic. I mean, I can't really think of any other blast, but his hands are kind of like this, right? He's like, and he like powers powers it up, right? And what he's learned is with, you know, a good amount of key control and stuff, right? Is if you focus it into a dense ball, into a single point, and then project it out, you're able to increase your battle power, right? So he wasn't banking all on this, but if it works, he's actually got an idea. So Cooler is like, and then he's fully transformed. He's like, he goes with the speed of lightning. Just Goku's like, he flies up. Cooler's above him, right? Smacks him back down. So they're just going back and forth, just bouncing around everywhere. And this version of Cooler trains a lot more because he has a really strong training partner. So that thus makes him even stronger. All right? So they're throwing some good hands. Like, they're quick with the smoke and they're just going stupid, go crazy. All right? And with this being said, Goku's like, all right, eat this. Super. Blast. I couldn't think of a name in that moment. I realized I needed a name. I was going to say Supernova, but nah. So we're just going to call it Demon Splash, all right? He's like, Demon Flash. Demon Flash sounds better. And then he hit that. Cooler steps back a little bit. No, that tickled. But you're going to have to do better than that, Sonny. You plan to beat me. He's like, uh-oh. So now this is where the fight gets brutal, right? Because remember in the beginning, he said he was going to fight this man as an equal. So he's thrashing, dude. Meanwhile, he's taking the full brunt. No key, no nothing. He's just taking every bit of it. Eating it up. He's just waiting, right? Getting used to the pattern. He's like, because Goku's fought people that are stronger than him and still won because he was patient. He's still a prodigy like he was in canon or whatever. And he's also more calculating due to Cooler's influence, and he's more rational about things. He still wants a good fight. You know, he's still got the same blood in him, but he has more common sense. Plus, he's a lot more intelligent. Not implying that Goku wasn't intelligent canon. It's just the fact that he was out in the boonies, so he wasn't the smartest one. But people always say he's stupid. He's not really stupid. He just, if you grow up on a farm and fight for all your life, I want to see how high your IQ is. Sorry for the mini rant, but anyways, he's taking all this. Cooler's like, this isn't like you to give up so soon. He said, kick dude up. But if you don't want to play, I guess I don't have no money else for you. So he starts sending out key blasts, and then he says, Goku's like, my time has come. Alright, so for future reference, I will say instant transmission or transport for time to give a sense of feel of how fast they're trying to leave or teleport. But anyway, he's like, transport! Cooler's like, and with everything in that foot, he kicks Cooler as far as he can. Basically, it's almost like his version of Kaioken without having Kaioken. So he's going in and hitting this dude with like combos. And they're not really meant to do anything, right? And so he's actually got a couple plans set into motion because he's about to win, right? Not win, but we're going to get there. So he kicks dude, kicks him a good little distance or whatever. And he starts like throwing a flurry of key bashes. And he's like, you must not understand that this is not gonna teleport and stuff. He's like, come on now. You're better than this. I can't believe you've stooped this low. One, he's like, he had respect to the man. He's like, what are you doing? And Cooler always did tell him, you know, if you feel like you're in danger, run. I'd rather have an alive subordinate that can live to tell the tale, unlike my brother. That's always the thing. So while he's shooting all these keybacks, Cooler's literally trying to touch man, and he lets him get a couple licks in, but keeps running away. And then he's like, it's time to end this fight. He's like, seems like you're getting your composure. All right. What now? He's like, I'm baking everything on this last attack. You can see the veins popping out. He says, "All out demon flash." Cooler's like that's gonna immediately it blocks realizing how strong it is, and that is where we'll end it off. Now, if this gets views, more come. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be looking goofy. Last time on Bosses, What If? Kakarot was fighting Cooler, his master. And they were in a they were in a very intense struggle. And let me just say, it was appearing one-sided, but Kakarot didn't have enough strength to fight him head on. But he was able to hold his own. And he was able to do some very good work, if I may say so myself. But we left it off where Kakarot was throwing all these ki blasts and none of them were hitting. And then he grabbed himself by the bootstraps and said, "Final, supercharged, final." What was it? Demon Splash? I forgot. I'll retcon that in a moment. But we're going to get back into it now. Who will win, Kakarot or Cooler? Okay. So Kakarot does and I will most likely mainly say Goku, but his name is technically Kakarot. But Goku goes in with his demon splash attack, and he goes all out. Cooler, on the other hand, was not anticipating the move to be this powerful, and it actually damages him somewhat severely. And then he's like, and then Cooler steps out of it. "That was a close call. You almost had me there for a second. I'm actually surprised you was able to output that much power. Well, if that's all you have to offer," while Kakarot's breathing extremely hard, panting, "if that's all you have to offer, well, this fight is done." But before Cooler could utter any other words, he's get caught with a clean elbow to the chin, and then grabbed by his arm and kicked in the solar plex. And then before he could catch his breath, Kakarot grabs him by the tail and starts spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, throws him up into the air. Shoot a couple of ki blasts at him. Cooler was able to catch himself fast enough to block most of the ki blasts, but before he could do anything else, Kakarot's already behind him, kicks him back to the ground, and before he hits the ground, he keeps punching and punching and kicking and punching, and then he screams out, "Hot rush," and then he goes in with a flurry of combos and then stomps on his head into the ground, jumps up, wait for Cooler to get up, and he says, "Game over, master." Doing movements almost to appear like he's dancing, but in reality he is not dancing, but he is about to dance on this nigga's corpse. He's like, "Goodbye." And then with a flurry of ki blasts and all sorts of stuff coming at him at once, all he sees is a whole bunch of ki blasts all around him. And he realizes. So, if I was on some God tier flow, we would have a flashback to where he was throwing all those ki blasters around and none of them was hitting. And none of them were doing anything. But they wasn't meant to hit him. All those ki blasters were sucking up the little energy that they kept exuding. So it was taking a little energy bit by bit from him and Cooler. So some are stronger than others. Some are weak, some are powerful, some are really powerful. And the Kakarot said, "I win." And then all you hear is with an explosion and a massive crater in the ground. Cooler flies up. Tail slightly damaged. With a little weird mouthpiece is damaged, even though that doesn't make any sense, but different story. His little mouthpiece is damaged. That's not on anymore. And he's just all bewtered and brassed. And Kakarot barely having the will to stand, but is ready to throw down for the last time. Cooler falls down to his knees. And Kakarot looks down on him. Kakarot falls down himself. Cooler stands back up. Puts his hand out. Instead of throwing a ki blast, he lifts out his hand to help Kakarot up. And he says, "Good job. You've improved a lot. If I have been slacking any ounce of my training, that might have been the end for me. And unlike my silly younger brother, I don't think I'm unlimited. I don't think I'm powerful." I'd say you're actually going a good little bit. He said, "But I do have a question." He says, "Yes, Lord Cooler?" Or I'll just say he probably calls him Cooler or Master Cooler, but just Cooler. Like, don't you get stronger from close encounters with death? He's like, "Yeah, but by the time they're talking about this, they're walking near the healing pods and shit." He's like, "Interesting." In his head, Cooler's like, he has proven his loyalty. So, for your job good done, I'll commend you and give you some extra power. Kakarot goes, wait, can we talk? Hitting him with a massive blast that eviscerates Kakarot. And then shoots him with a couple of beams just to, really, get that in there. And throws him in the healing pod. Closes that bad boy up. Cooler goes off to do what he's about to do. But meanwhile, while all of this has happened and has happened, if I had to give a point of reference where we're at, we're somewhere around the Saiyan Saga. Now, in the beginning, I did say I wanted to make sure he was able to go to Earth, so we'll make the justification as so. With Kakarot having pretty good intelligence, and with him being very smart as he is, he eventually learned how to, hack into Frieza's system. Because one day he does want to leave the Cooler Force, but he's like, he doesn't have an incentive to. He's already got. I'm gonna say as of right now, he has a Saiyan girlfriend, right? But I can always retcon this, and I can justify it to make it to where he still goes with Chi-Chi, but I don't really care for her like that. But as of right now, I'm going to say there was another Saiyan survivor, because she was off on a distant planet, and she's about the same age as Kakarot. Because what I'm doing is I'm blending the what if Vegeta was sent to Earth, and instead of Goku storyline, kind of. So I'm taking some elements from there. Anyways, so with that being said, we got our boy. He's like, he eventually was able to hack it in, and these people talking about Nappa and Raditz are talking about the Prince of All Saiyans, and he's looking and seeing that comms have went dead and that type of stuff, and they went to E-Earth. So he's like, if I can rally up some people and troops, and I can kill Frieza. Interesting. Yeah. If I'm able to kill Frieza, I ought to be able to. That'll be his kind of partying ticket, Because he wants to go ahead and explore. Even though he's got good money, good status, and all this stuff, he wants to go ahead and explore a little bit. So he does. He sets off for a mission while Lord Cooler is out doing something, and he flies off. Not flies off, but kind of pods off. Meanwhile, on Earth, what's currently happening is Vegeta is training with Raditz and Nappa, and they're telling him more about Saiyans and all that type of stuff. And he's like, but the difference here is he didn't kill them off rip. He said, so y'all are just like me. That means I'll have training partners. Plus, he'll get to learn a whole slew about Saiyans and stuff. And so they're just training and training and training, and then they all sense a really strong power level pull up. Thus, introduce Kakarot. But what we're gonna say is, actually, hold on, I'm gonna have to recount something I just said. So how this is put is, this is gonna be like Raditz and Nappa came at the same time. I'm gonna say they actually did kill. Okay, here. I gotta find a way to justify. So we're gonna say there was 3 Saiyans, right? But there's gonna be a nameless Saiyan because he needs to die for the sake of the story, for this to all pan out the way I needed to, right? That nameless Saiyan actually went around killing, and he killed the few people that were there, like, you know, Tien, Chaozu, Yamcha, Cyberman, and stuff like that. So it's kind of like the Raditz. Vegeta and Nappa, but instead of that, it's just Raditz and Nappa. And they're also stronger than what they were originally in canon, okay? So, that's going to be that. The Nameless Saiyan gets beaten by Vegeta. He doesn't go to King Kaiser or anything because he never died. And eventually, after a while of them fighting or whatever, it's pretty much, you know, Vegeta decides to let them live. But then, so they're trying to figure out what they're going to do. They eventually recover and all that stuff. And then they talk about how there's this emperor named like Frieza and stuff. And they're trying to defeat him. But, you know, this and that. Plus, originally when the people died, they still had their scouters on. So they were talking about the Dragon Balls. Frieza, boom. So we got the Namek chip on go. But during the process of getting all that stuff ready, we're going to say that Trunks is actually going to be replacing Gohan in this sense. And he's going to be a little more eager to want to learn how to fight because he wants to be like his dad. So we're going to say he did do some training and he was doing some training throughout the years. So he's going to kind of be in the Gohan's place. But he doesn't have the same rage boost, okay? With that being said, let's get into it. So how this plays out is they're all trying to figure out, okay, we need to go to Namek. We need to wish, you know, our people back. And then we'll figure out how we're going to take care of this Frieza dude. This Frieza is just really strong, blah, blah, blah. With that being said, Goku pulls up. Fresh and as clean as ever. With his freshly required Zenkai boost. And he goes to where the highest parallel was at. And that's where Vegeta's at. Which Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa, I'm going to say they aren't damaged. So basically he heads off to Kalpa Court. Meanwhile, while Krillin and Trunks, they went off to Namek. Okay? I'm going to say they went off to Namek with Nappa. Okay? So, we're going to throw that in there too. Raditz wanted to stay because he's kind of pretty strong. He's actually the one that gave the better fight. So, you know, Goku's up in this piece. He's like, yeah, I'm in this bitch. He pulling around saying, this is a lovely planet. Steps down. Raditz really immediately realizes, Kakarot? So someone does know my name on this planet. How do you do, brother? And that's where I will leave this part. I know, not again. Why you do this? But let's see here. If this gets 10 likes within the first 24 hours of it being uploaded, actually being live uploaded, I'll upload the next part. Hey. Last time we left off with Goku pulling up to Earth or E-Earth. And he talks, his brother Raditz was like, Kakarot. He's like, hey, brother. So what will happen? Who will fight who? What is about to go down? Is he about to kill everyone? How strong is Goku right now? Is he stronger than Vegeta? Find out on this episode. So, he's like, hey, so let me see. Judging from your height, I'll probably say you're the Prince of Saiyans. You're most likely Raditz. Where's that other Saiyan at? Nappa. Vegeta immediately goes on guard and tries to. Now, this Goku has weights on. That'll make sense in a moment. And Vegeta immediately just goes in for the rush and blasts him away. He's like, kills him immediately. Huh. Alright, now that was taken care of. Back to what we were saying. He's like, hey. You know how much this cost me? It was free, but it cost a lot, okay? But Jesus. What's wrong with you? Do you want to fight? Like, I'll hurt you if I have to. And then, so they all, the Raditz and Vegeta look at each other and like, they take a fighting stance. He's like, oh, for the love of God, let's go somewhere else. I don't want to hurt anything nearby here. So they fly off to a wasteland. It's always wastelands. And so the fight begins. It's equivalent to like Raditz versus, as of right now, it's equivalent to Raditz versus Piccolo and Goku. So it's he's weave. Man's are throwing quality hands, and he's just like kick Vegeta, jumps up, does a triple backflip, just kicks Raditz in the neck, hits some more weave game, weave. This is easy. Blows this dude away. Just kicks this dude back. And so, dude's having a fun time. You know what I'm saying? He's enjoying himself. So, this is happening. Everyone's going stupid, go crazy. Meanwhile, on Planet Namek. So, everyone, there was some tension, but after, saying he was sorry and telling him, like, my bad, and kind of sorry about all what I've done. They land. They go around. The soldiers appear. Nappa and Krillin take care of the soldiers. I'm gonna say that Trunks. I'm gonna say he's a good little bit stronger than Gohan when around this point, due to some factors he was training with, a pretty strong Vegeta. Not a super strong Vegeta, but pretty strong. So I'm gonna say he is pretty strong himself. So the order goes from it's Nappa, Krillin, and then Trunks at the very bottom. Not too far, them, but they fight differently. So, anyways, they go around. They find Dragon Balls and stuff. The main difference here is there's no Vegeta coming for them in the beginning. So it's all allies. So they're going about and doing their thing and collecting Dragon Balls with no problem. But they do run into a problem. The problem they run into is Dodoria. He pulls up on them. Now back to the next fight. Okay, so meanwhile, Goku's dusting both of these people. And then they both say, F it. Kame. He's like, Ooh, is this an Earth technique I've heard so much about? Kame. He's like, wait a minute. Wait, where'd the other one go? Double Sunday. Kamehameha. He's like, oh shit. Flies up immediately. And then their moves combine. Double Kamehameha. He's like, oh shit. Hot burst. Smoke clears. His armor slightly damaged. God damn. But before he can catch his breath, Vegeta and Raditz are on him. So they just start the malicious folding. And this dude with combos blast. Gallic gun! And then, you know, we don't have any names for Raditz's moves, so I'm just going to keep saying ice cream and different foods when I'm talking about him, okay? Cherry blast! Boo, 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 boo. Just, they just folding up on man. And then they kick him down to the ground. They both jump up. Super Galactic God! Full power! Orange Sunday! They both fall on separate sides of where the crater's at, and they're both exhausted. Vegeta, okay, maybe he wasn't lying about, you know, trying to help and wanting to kill this Frieza guy. And then he gets out of the crater. Ow. Ow. Ouch. Okay. Alright. That hurt. I'm good. I'm good. Vegeta and Raditz are looking very goofy right now. It's like, okay. Alright, I'm okay. He slowly tries to get up. He's like, God damn. Jesus. Why? But before he could finish saying anything, Yajirobe cuts this dude in the back, and he's like, ouch. Backhands this dude in such a fashion that he does like 30 different backflips before getting hit into a small, tiny rock. Can I just speak my... Oh, for the love of God. The dude just immediately powers up. Just no more games. So what he does is powers up. But off in the distance, there was a scouter still, you know, privy to all this. This will make sense in a moment. None of their powers levels exceeded, you know, none of their power levels exceeded like it was like 23, 24, 27. You know, that's where most of their power was at. I'm gonna say Kakarot's was like somewhere around at the given moment was around like the 30 mark, you know, somewhere around the 35 or like 36, you know. And this is his like resting level, okay? And he had weights on, and he wasn't using his full power, so I'd probably say his full power with the weights on would be over dwarfing first form Frieza. And so then his resting power, look, I don't want to do power levels too much, so if I'm changing somewhere the fight's a little different, it's more about how I want the fight to go. Like, I already have it in my head how I'm going to try to make it go, so I'm just trying to give y'all a point of reference, okay? And then he cranks it up for a brief moment, all the way up into the millions, all right? Okay? And so he does this, and then everyone's like, oh, look. And then he breaks the scouter that was off in there in the Wanderers. It was just a scouter. I guess it was an extra one or something. Frieza thinks his, you know, his transmute thing is broken or something. He's like, huh. I saw a power level over 1 million. Interesting. Don't matter. This stupid machine must be broken. And so, that happens, okay? And we would go back, or we'll stay in Namek for the moment, and we'll talk about the boys. So, if Vegeta's power level would be somewhere around in the 26. Then Raditz will be around the 22s, 23s, okay? Now, with that as a point of reference, we would also have to say that Nappa would have to be somewhere around the 19s. Krillin would be a good bit deal lower than that. He'll be somewhere around the 10,000, while Trunks would be somewhere around the 5,000. Now, how can I justify this? There isn't no evident proof. I could easily just say, because I did say Nappa and Raditz was stronger in the other part. Like, they've been stronger. They didn't have Vegeta there, so they had to be stronger. Trunks wanted to train. Vegeta's pretty hard at training. Okay. And plus, this is more on the, fan fiction side. So, I mean, just enjoy it. Anyways, enough explaining. With this being said, I don't know what Jidoria's power level is. Right? I don't know. But I know it's not higher than... Because I think when Vegeta first came to Planet Namek or whatever, he was like somewhere around the 30s. So he was able to make quick work of everybody. So, with this being said, I think with their combined efforts, they'd be able to subdue Dodoria. So, they take care of him, save the village, keep it moving. Eventually, we're going to get into them flying off, taking care of stuff, and then Zarbone's around, looking around for them. And then, before he could find them, or let's say, I'll even say they do find him, and then we'll switch right back to Earth, okay? Now we're right back on Earth. We're chilling. We're good. He's like, listen, I want to help y'all take down that Frieza guy. I gained something from it. They're like, what do you gain from it? Well, it's simple. I know someone stronger than Frieza. It's extra dramatic, and they're all like, what do you mean? They're all like low-key, like big body terrified, okay? You hear me? And so he's like, as I said, I know someone stronger than the Freezer. And we're not talking about his first form. Raditz. So you're telling me the rumors are true? He does have more than one form? Not just one, more than one form. He's like three, somewhere around there. They're like, wait, how do you know? Because I serve under his brother. They kind of put their guards back up. Oh, calm down. If I wanted to kill you, I could easily wipe the whole life out on this planet. And there would be nothing you could do about it. He's like, look, bro. My power level dwarfs all of y'all and probably some people on that planet. What planet? Planet Namek? Like, how do you know? Oh, biscuits. They all think about it. The scouters, they didn't turn it off when they arrived. Long story short, they head off after everything's been, set up in the gravity chamber, so they're cool with being in it. So they're off. Meanwhile, while all of this is happening, back on Namek, I'll do one even better. We won't even go back to Namek. We're going somewhere else. Back on planet 226666. I will never remember that. 2266. Cooler is actually freezing himself. We're going to use another bit of fan fiction for this fan fiction as lore. He decided he needs a little power boost. So what he's going to do is he's going to take a little time out of his day and freeze himself for a second. Because the ice people are known for the longer they've been frozen or the longer they've been freeze for, they gain a power boost of sort. Okay? This will make more sense later, but as of right now, Cooler is freezing. And as he is freezing, he's also meditating. He heard that monkey, which he actually refrains from saying monkey because he respects Kakarot. But he hears that the monkey was doing something where he calmed his mind or something and did image training. He does this. You know who he's imagining he's killing? His brother. Now, that's where we leave it off. And this video gets like about 15, 20, somewhere around there, likes with the first 24 hours of being live. I'll make another one. Follow my Instagram. Follow that. It's guy_DK. Sub, like, hit the bell, like the video if you like it. I am out. Back with another video. We're gonna get straight into it. Follow my Instagram, guy_DK. Like, sub, hit the bell. Come on, I'm almost at 1K. Let's get it. All right. So last time we left this off with Kakarot helping the boys take down the freezer guy, and also finding out that Cooler decided to do some meditating and image training because he decided to freeze himself. So that's that. They're actually making the preparations to go to Namek. And speaking of Namek, if we could talk about anything else, let's talk about what's going on Namek. Alright, so what's happening on that Namek, right? Everybody looking goofy. The Zarbon just came through, okay? And once again, I said I might retcon my stuff just because of the sake of how I want the story to be told. So I might retcon. Get ready. Alright, so everyone's like, yeah, we gotta fold man. But they all put their wits together and they're like, alright, bro. He's not stronger than this. Nappa, Krillin, and Trunks, which he takes the place of Gohan. The only difference is I'm going to say he has more potential than Gohan in the sense of just raw potential, like raw what he can do, right? But he doesn't get the rage boost. Like he can get angry, but it's not like anything super big body. Okay, now with that out of the way, let's talk about how this fight plays out. Zarbon's like, oh yeah, I'm bringing your head to Frieza. He's giving me a bonus. I'm taking my girl out on a dinner date. And then, he's planning to run off. Right? But Nappa said, no. Since they was doing some image training, he's like, yo, kid, hit that hoe. He said, say less. He put a little volleyball up in the air because, Nappa's not trying to, lose any energy because he wants to use full power. And let's just say that 10-time multiplier did him justice this one time. And the reason he didn't lose his tail, if I have to say this, is because he didn't use it when they win. He didn't get a chance to. So he was able to keep his tail. Anywho. Man's immediately goes stupid, go crazy, right? Because he is trying to he's fighting Zarbon, and he's putting up one heavenly of a fight. And Zarbon's like, all right, forget this. I'm transforming, even though he's already transformed. I'm transforming, and then I'm using my full power. So he's fighting, and he's like, all right. He cuts Nappa's tail off. Nappa's like, now I'm looking goofy. But by then, Krillin, for once in his life, which this isn't completely true, it's just a joke, was actually useful and used his Destructo Disc. And when he did that, it, cut mans in half. They were like, oh. Alright. So, without that being happened, I'm going to say Frieza's like, yeah, these dudes not calling or answering my call. I'm going to call the Ginyu Force. Ginyu Force is going to be pulling up momentarily. Back on Earth, we got these people. They coming in with the swiftiness, right? They here. They're not, actually on Namek. But after they get everything sorted, he basically does the little trainings and stuff with mans and all of them. Like, teaching them little stuff he knows. Little combos, and they're doing some really good training. It's easier to, catch up to a level 50 than to, go higher than, your level 50. So I'm gonna say they are catching up, but like Goku is in canon, and the dude's still a genius, a prodigy, if you may. So not easy. He's helping them out though. So I'm gonna say, to give a point of reference, which I don't like doing this, but I have to. I'm gonna say he's about everyone. Nappa and Vegeta. They're gonna be about right somewhere below. I'm gonna say Raditz is where Vegeta was right before he died. And then I'm going to say that Vegeta is a little bit stronger than Goku after you got out the healing chamber. Now you might be like, wait, huh? Now I can see this being justified to the degree of the fact is when you get trained by a stronger opponent, blah, 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 you can get, massive gains. Now you're going to be like, okay, then where's Goku at? If you're placing everyone else instead of Hyper Stream, I'm going to say he's going to be somewhere around the times 20 of himself in canon. Once again, it's just the sake of the story. I don't think any of y'all will be bothered by it. But enough of that. Let's get back into the actual stuff. So the Ginyu Force, they're coming, right? Now you'd be like, oh no, that's a problem. But they're not going to be here for a good minute. And you know what that means, right? The goodies. Dragon Balls. Let's go. We're getting them. Alright, so they head out immediately, ransack, they already got all of them. They go to Nell, they talk to Nell. They all get their power unlocked. Nappa's a good guy. We're not even going to play that. Ghost Nappa up in this piece. Alright, boom. Everyone get their power unlocked. They immediately make the wishy wish. With, Frieza, I'm going to say Frieza just said, I'm going to go in the spaceship, not do anything, and call it one. So I'm going to say that he went to sleep or was attending to some important business of some caliber. Some Frieza stuff, all right? So with that being said, he didn't know, the sky went stupid, go crazy. All right? Everyone makes a wish. Now we're going to say these wishes are pretty similar to how they are in canon. Everyone gets revived. Everyone get revived. Most of the villages don't inherently need to get revived. They wish Piccolo back, wish him to Planet Namek, and then they actually had one more wish, and instead of using that wish for anything else, and since there was more good happening than bad, we're going to say that, the Supreme Lord Mans wasn't super duper stressed. So what they decide to do is they you want to use that last wish for something really, really important. But they didn't specify, so it caused a little problem. We'll get into that later. So, with all of this buffoonery happening, okay? With all of this going on, Rieza's like, I smell bitch in the air. Looks outside, knows what's going on. Sees the dragon, pulls up on everyone. With the speed, quickness of a god. Alright. Nell says, I'm gonna hold them off. Y'all can leave. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. So Frieza's like, alright, bro. What was that? But before he actually, I'm gonna say, before he fully commits, he finds Nell. Nell meets up with him. The Ginyu Force pulls up where Frieza's at, and then Nell's like, oh crap, am I about to get jumped again? Like that one dude. And so, that didn't happen. Frieza's like, alright, it's good that y'all came. I don't need the scouters. I'm tending to this wretched soul right here. So with that being said, right here, he says that. And then he's gonna start the fight, but he told Mans to go find the other, like the Earthlings and stuff. Like, go find the dude and find out where the Dragon Balls are at. And then Nails was like, yeah, Dragon Balls don't work no more. We used them already. Planks. I can't even do a Frieza voice, can I? No, I can't. I don't know how yet. I'll come back. But he was like, playing stupid won't get you nowhere. And he's like, all right. All you're gonna see is some big rocks and stone. Well, that won't change your fate any nonetheless. And then he's basically saying, I'm about to kill you. But after you experience something far worse than death. Blah, 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 blah. Frieza manga. Alright, now with that being said, everyone else is doing some other stuff. I'm gonna say this is where they would be getting their potential unlocked. Alright, just to give them something to do. And so Frieza takes care of man, and he is extremely mad. The Ginyu Force spreads around the planet trying to find, where these Earthlings at. Plus they're masking their power. Even though they got, getting the, power boost or whatever. Nappa's like, all right. And he was able to get his tail back because it didn't dare heal him up. Chilling. So eventually, they all come out to a center area, and then the Ginyu Force pulls up on them also. Why you in my neighborhood? And that's where we're going to leave this part off. If this video get like 10 likes within like 15-ish hours of me uploading it, I'll immediately upload the next part. God_DK. And if you made it this far to the video, you have now, not literally, but now have entered the end of video. Let's see what we're going to call y'all today. The Ks. No. The NFs. I haven't done that one in a minute. So comment down below NFs. Something simple. Help the algorithm and all that good stuff. Catch y'all though. Last time on Boss Is What Is, Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz are getting ready to go to Namek, and they're on their merry way, and they're doing a good bit of training. Will they make it in time to help our heroes? And speaking of our heroes, they are currently struggling with these people known as the Ginyu Force, and due to what Nappa was talking about them, they are very strong individuals and they might not stand a chance. But enough talking. Find out now. Hello, it is I, the black guy. Anywho, but for real though, alright, bro. The Ginyu Force pulled up deep, like 6 deep, running up on people. They said, oh, you dude, he's strong. Now, you remember that energy ball that was in the sky? Trunks don't have to tell, so we don't gotta worry about him going stupid or crazy, alright? Anywho, Nappa immediately, on some Vegeta stuff, goes all out, looks at Raccoon, and just starts slugging it out with him. And, he eventually was able to get the best of him. But he didn't turn full ape yet. He was saving that bad boy. You don't know? He was like, I don't want to waste my best trump card. So he was saving that bad boy. So he didn't do it. But he immediately tried to take out Raccoon. Now, with this distraction, though, Trunks said, you know what? I'm my father's kid. He powered up. It almost looks like he went Super Saiyan, kind of in the sense of the way he just did it. He ran up on Dildo. Name's weird. He ran up on dude, bro. He hit him with an after image move. Like he acted like he was about to do something. Dude was like, freeze time. And he was about to throw a rock and everything. It was too late. Because he turned around, was about to smack him in the face because he realized, he was like, oh, you think you're so slick. Then, when he smacked him, he was like, because he could see it's an after image. It was too late. He's already looking, goofy. Too late. So, dude just, because he's like, wait. He knew at that moment, he was dead. Dude said, it was just too much energy, just everywhere. Dude's head clean gone. Dead. Father like son. Anywho, now with that being said, Mr. Baldy over there jumped up and said, Solar Fire! first because a CD. He threw that bad boy. Then he scatter. So that baddie boy said, and like most of the energy went to the two dudes, to the Birder and Jace. Then one of them went to the captain, obviously. It did, it did a little damage, all right? It did a little damage to Birder and Jace. It didn't do no damage to the captain. And then he was like, I figured as much. Guys, everyone was in sync. Guys, no! So they all made it look like they were running away. And Birder was like, I'm the fastest in the universe. I am not letting you get away. He goes for the body first because he took kind of personal offense to him touching him. And he's like, got him, just as I thought. And then Birder was prepared to block, but what he really didn't realize was it wasn't really a blast. It was a fake out. It was a smoke screen. And he's like, huh? Don't think this will stop my... But before he could finish that sentence, Nappa comes out of the woodworks, turning grape ape at that very instant. Just, and just like smashing this dude with the hardest fist he could think of. But that wasn't enough to finish him. So he opened his hand, like he pulled the punch back, opened his hand, put a blast in it, and then he's like, now, do it now, kid. And Trunks is like, huh? It doesn't look nearly as crispy. Birdie, attack! With all that combination damage, Krillin's in the background, combat, with all that energy. So you're like, okay, how's they gonna take Jace if he's a little bit stronger? You said. But the thing is, Krillin, he's a thinker. He actually uses his attacks in this, alright? So he's like, he uses all that combined energy that was just there, and then he uses that to attack. But the captain's like, okay, I've had enough. Y'all are doing too much. So he smacks the energy ball. He's like, perfect. Sorry, Yamcha. I had to borrow a movie of yours. So he's controlling the disc. And guess what happens? Yeah. So it cuts off the arm of the captain and it kills Jace. No. I'm going to say it damages the captain. Doesn't kill him. And it kills Jace. I think this is fairly justified. So I'm going to say they mainly won it by not playing any games and having some clean, solid teamwork. Now the captain's looking goofy. He's like, alright. He's like, alright. It seems like that great ape over there is the stronger out of you two. Meanwhile, where Frieza's at, after maliciously not murdering, but beating up Nell, he leaves to go do something else. Piccolo fuses with him. Woo. Now we're going to go back to the people doing the fighting, and Captain Game's like, dang, I need a new body. No matter. This dude releases some weird power, bro. Like, never seen before. This dude was secretly doing some god tier training, apparently, because when he powered up, he folded everyone. Like, there was no contest folding. He trained, and he put in effort this time. Like I don't know, bro. But they all were on the ground. And he was beating. And when I say beat, I mean he was beating the godsend out of Trunks. You know, he owed me a space Coke. And then Nappa didn't get it any better. Like, this dude's almost meant not to have a tail because this dude started, like, beating on him and trying to rip his tail out while just beating on this dude. Baldy didn't get it no better. He said, "You want to do blast, huh? Milky Way." Just being ruthless with the smoke. There was no love given upon that day. And then before he got even more disrespectful, he died. He just got blasted into oblivion. Vegeta gave some sensu beams out to Pete. Now, I did say they had a couple more days. But you remember that one wish they made? They was like, yeah, we want all our homies to come through. Hit us up. Yeah, like come through. But they didn't specify it. So they didn't appear right on Namek. And only Raditz. And Vegeta pulled up. And Goku still got 2 days. They didn't get to finish their training. Frieza, sensing these new power levels, decides to say, fuck it. I'm gonna go fold these niggas. Call it a space day and get out of here. And that's where we're leaving this one.